Hello, Virgo babies. What is up? What's going on? My name is Luna, and today we are doing a general, collective, timeless love energy check in. This is not going to apply to all of my Virgos, so please use your discernment. Only take what resonates, leave behind what does not. If this does not apply to you, don't force the message. Check one of your other placements. You will find yourself somewhere in there. And if this does resonate for you, I hope that it does help. So how we are going to determine if this is your reading is we're just going to do a quick energy check with these first 4 cards. And if it sounds like you, we will progress through the reading, dive into more tarot, and then close the reading off with an oracle message of advice for you. Okay. So Virgo, the person, or the one, is what I was going to say that I'm talking to. I feel like that might have some relevance. With the boat here, we have receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, and closure issues. The reason why I felt like saying the one was so relevant is because you may be moving on from a person who you thought was the one, if you know what I mean. And you may be arriving to closure in some way, making progression towards that in terms of receiving what you need in regards to answers. And what I mean by that is answers with communication. With the King of Swords here, there may have been some serious communication or serious conversation that happened with this person that made you gain clarity or see things clearly, I'm hearing. If it wasn't a conversation, this person may have just acted in ways that you observed that allowed you to see them for who they really are. I don't know why I'm hearing that, but with the 2 of Pentacles, it may have been a little bit of a back and forth process for you to receive this closure or come to this conclusion, make this progression. Maybe you're in the midst of this. All of my Virgos are going to be on a different timeline. But with that being said, you have been working hard on trying to preserve your independence and peace, I feel. This is a very healing energy. And this card typically pertains to work. So some of you could be mainly focused on your career. But with some tarot math here, the 8 to the 2 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles indicates long-term stability. Sometimes it can indicate family. So maybe you shared a family with this person or had a family with this person. That's obviously not going to apply to everybody. But what I'm sensing here is that you have been really diligent in working towards trying to gain closure or peace and move on from this. Okay? So if this sounds like you, let's go ahead and dive further into the tarot, my love. We are using the beautiful Light Seers Tarot today. I haven't used this deck in a while. I'm not sure why that is. It's one of my favorites, to be honest. Maybe there's an underlying message there. There's something that you've been neglecting in yourself, like when it comes to catering to this relationship, it felt like you were leaving part of yourself behind. That's a really strange message, but okay. Whoa, that's a lot. Okay, so we have, for the King of Swords, the Hermit, I'm going to take them all, the 7 of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. This strongly feels like you may have gone through an epiphany moment here with this King of Swords. And it led you to not only this independent era, but the Hermit is all about retrospection, introspection, spending time alone, and reflecting on things that have occurred in this bond. 444 on the clock. As I said that, maybe that has some relevance to you. But with the 7 of Wands here, there was a need to retract your energy from this person. because you, again, there's something about protecting your peace here. And with the Ace of Cups, remember how I mentioned how you may have felt like you were abandoning a sense of yourself with this? The Ace of Cups here is about renewing that sense of self for yourself. Pardon my nails. But this is about new love, a new beginning of love for you. Not necessarily romantically. Maybe romantically for some of you. But I feel like for the vast majority of my Virgos, you are giving to yourself more. With the Two of Pentacles and the Five of Cups, when you were juggling how you felt about this, or if you were receiving the proper closure that you really desired, there's something in you that felt a great sense of disappointment here. It feels like you've expended all of the effort that you possibly can, and as a result, there's not much more that you can really give to it, and it's left you feeling kind of drained here. There's like a black hole energy, kind of like a void within you. And with that comes regret and assessing the past a little bit, you know, the what ifs, the would have, should have, could haves. But there's also a realization here that things may be beyond repair. So show me more about this Eight of Pentacles, please. Eight of Pentacles to the Eight of Cups. Wow, look at that. With this whole juggling notion, you had to work really hard to make the decision to walk away. Sorry about the glare. Oh my gosh. I didn't want to cover it, but maybe that's better. You had to either walk away from this connection completely, or at the very least, emotionally detach and distance yourself. Maybe as a means of protection, maybe to avoid feeling disappointed and hurt even more. Maybe as a means to protect your peace and give to yourself. Upon realizing all of this, maybe walking away was the only way that you could move on and progress, or receive the closure that you needed. Receive what you need, what you needed. Okay. Talk to me more about this Eight of Cups, the High Priestess. It's funny. I'm like, talk to me. And Spirit's like, nope. The High Priestess is about secrecy sometimes. Not particularly in this case. To me, I'm more so leaning towards the Hermit energy, in the sense that you are retracting your energy, again, with this emotional distance, but also trying to pay more mind to your intuition. Listen to yourself when it comes to red flags. Listen to your gut instinct. Maybe even listen to your dreams if you're getting signs in those that are repeating. But really, it's about acknowledging that you may have known all along that that was the right thing to do, to move away from this. So what's the outcome here? Ooh. Let me move that to the middle so we can see it a little bit better. We have the Four of Pentacles in reverse to the World in reverse to the Four of Wands in reverse. So, okay, so for some of you Virgos with the Four of Wands in reverse, yes, this may have been somebody that you were potentially married to, or at the very least in a committed relationship with. With the World in reverse, for a while there, you may have felt a lack of closure. Maybe they still do. But this cycle is slowly coming to a close, because what you once were holding near and dear and close to you and protecting, maybe even guarding, maybe even trying to control in some kind of sense, you are letting go of. the world in reverse to me also indicates emotional distance. And that is just a repetitive theme that's coming up here. It may be physical distance, but I do feel more so largely that it is emotional. Okay, so let's close the tarot there and take a look at your oracle message, babe. What does Virgo need to know regarding this reading, please? For their closing oracle message of advice. What does Virgo need to hear about this bond, this connection? Okay, challenging times. Number 5 may have some relevance to you, Virgo. Or, where is this? Sorry, give me a second. Challenging times to find this message. Okay, so number 5, like I said, may have some relevance. Or number 145. I saw 111 in passing. That may also have relevance to you. I'm big on numerology. But challenging times says the keywords here are ego, conflict, challenges, and competition. Human ego can be helpful when it provides us with a sense of self, value, and purpose. However, the ego can lead to problems when it seeks to build itself up at the expense of others. Quarrelsome energies may be in the air at this time. You may find yourself either instigating disagreements or being pulled into them by others. Step back and examine the real issues behind the conflict. You may find that it's more about being right than it is about what is right. You may also find a relationship to be more challenging than usual, sensing an underlying power struggle, even though surface energies appear to be calm. Oh, use your intuition, yes, and intellect to ascertain what's happening. While competition can be stimulating, it's disruptive to a relationship. You can avoid this by thinking before you speak or act, and by coming from a place of honesty and love. Dang, Virgo. Okay, so that puts things kind of into perspective. Not to point fingers, and I realize now that I may have, but really use your self-awareness here to decipher during these challenging times, or reflect on potentially what were challenging times. Who was the instigator? Obviously, it takes two to tango, but what role did you personally play? And how has that affected things? And then, obviously, consider the other side. But in your reading, I saw a really strong sense of wanting to move towards peace, closure, and also you did show me retracting and self-reflection. So that, I feel, is key in those moments where you feel heated, or like your buttons are being pushed, or something within you is striking a chord that doesn't feel so good. Really take that moment to take that extra 30 seconds to take a couple of breaths, ground yourself before you say what's on your mind, because that could really, really save you some hardship moving forward. And if you're already past that point, then good for you. I'm proud of you. Good luck, Virgo. I love you so much. Mwah.